Hi guys, this is Rotello and this is my first video on how do I make my tracks, how do I make my tricks and everything. I'm not a master, there is a lot of people much better than I am, but nobody usually focus on Speedcore, so let's do it. I also know that there is a kind of decadence to make a video shirtless, but at the end, fuck you, we are speaking of Speedcore, we are not speaking of house, so bear with me and just listen to the music and everything. Before even starting, I'm going to speak about my track Rotello, RotPsycho100. Probably I will change the title at the end, but this is the working title. Listen to it and then we will work on it. Okay, this is the track and this is version 2. I already made some improvement. I'm not sure they are improvement, that's why I save in a different track, then I will listen side to side and see where there is some improvement, where there are not. So let's load the new version and then I will speak about sample and some stuff I did. Okay, so this is part 3. Let's speak about sample. As I told you at the beginning, this is taken from the RotPsycho100 original soundtrack, and there is a very famous sample, which is this one. No, which is wait, let me go in a track that is clean without equalization, or not so much. Okay, in my cheapness I have not found anywhere a high quality sample, so I had to sample it from YouTube, and that's a problem because, as you can see, all the frequency are cut. It's super you know, it's not good, and as long as I like dirty sound, starting with that not good quality sample is not going to help in the track. Anyway, we have this and we have to work on that. So basically the beginning is this sample number 3, which is just the intro of the original track, and I cut it at the beginning and at the end. If we see how I cut it, we can see that I didn't do a very nice cut, and you know, you should cut usually where on this line here, like here, so you're sure you don't feel any click, and it's more you know, more complete. Anyway, in this case, but usually I don't like to cut unless it's a base of something important, but if it's just a background sound, I like to cut it good but not perfect, so to give like some more organic sound, something which is more human, maybe a little dirty, maybe click a little bit, you know. It's not perfectly in sync with the bass, with the groove, but it's okay like that because it give it a little bit more like humanity, organic. I don't know how to explain better. Then we have like a series of samples, basically all from the same track, you know. This is all the track with this very wonderful sample, so I'm not going to, you can look for it on internet, it's good. Then again the same, this is the sample clean, just like that. This is the reverse hit I got from the beginning, and it's good because not only it's very nice to build up a little bit before the bass start, but it's also good because it sounds the same from the sample. So basically I was not able to clean the sample from this sample, but anyway it was not a big problem because in the organic feel, in the noise, in the massacre of sound, it just feel okay. Then I rip snare from Complex, I edit it a little bit more, you see it's very distorted, and while I'm not 100% happy about it, I'll let you know where in this part, I'll let you hear, and then I tell why I'm not 100% happy. Okay, so the snare is a bit too strong in sound, but yes, I'm listening the music with the, you know, with the headphone, and I don't know when I will be able to play it in a huge club, so I'm not sure all the background sound that I'm building will be able to feel, you know, the texture of the sound. So maybe this is a very easy stuff, a easy way out. It's like a bit shitty nevertheless, but again, it's not so bad, and it's arrogant, it's ignorant, I kinda like it. I could improve probably this automation, and for sure I will, but it's not time now. Maybe I will do that in the future. So then I have some noise. I think I did this one like 1 million ago with like I don't know, Orion or maybe Fruit Loop, I'm not really sure. Then I have some more bass drum, they're clean, and this is good to make like some kind of noises, but I don't know if I will use them, because this kind of stuff is, ultra bassy and it's covering too much sound for now. Then I have some more bass drum from Complex. I probably edited that because they're not, they're fucking distorted, and usually Complex is more clean, so I'm almost sure I touch it. Then I have this sample again. Let me put it in a place where there is no other sample around, no editing stuff. Again, I did it almost sure in some I don't know, Fruit Loop, probably the 404 stuff. It's like Fruit Loop number 3 or 4, and again I loop it, and it's like a ping pong, so I just go on this side and come back. And I didn't cut it perfectly here, I cut it just good enough not to hear the click of the coming back, but not perfectly, so give you a bit more organic sound. And I am not using anymore this sample. But I really love it, so I'm sure I will be used again in some kind of other track. This is another sample that I have forever. I did like I think 3 or 4 tracks with this sound. It's very good because it's grinding, but it's also kind of bassy. I kind of really like it, and it's good for helping the bass to to go. And you will hear in this part of the track, when it starts, after here there is the reverse it that I told you before. Then when it starts, we have like the bass drum, and I will speak about the bass drum in a couple of minutes. And I have this sound, the deep noise sound, which is not exactly the static rhythm, but it's very similar, and they make the same stuff. I will use here the second one, the static rhythmic here, just to help me anymore. If you wonder how is the track just with the bass drum, it's very good. But if you add this this sound alone, okay, is not that great. The bass is very nice alone, but I don't like to play bass alone, so I'm putting this one, which give you like some kind of a drive, I don't know, something that keep on pushing much more than the bass alone. Of course, I'm not very good in equalizing stuff, or better, I don't care so much in equalizing, so I never learn properly. And the frequency basically the frequency, they just cover themselves, so the bass is a bit more weak, and probably I will make some kind of editing at the very end if I feel like that. I have again the same sample, a bit different, you know, not so much, but enough to. Okay. Then I got, of course, I saw all the first series of RotPsycho, and I've get some sample. Speaking, I wanted to sample that in English, but man, English dubbing really fucking suck. You know, Japanese, maybe they use kids, but they are very good, of course. I really love Italian because I don't know, usually they use adult people to dub it, while usually all the people dubbing stuff from Dragon Ball, from I don't know, anything, they really sound awful, and I was not able to find a good sample. I would prefer something in English. Instead, I used this one in Japanese that basically says something that we are losing the fight, I have to put all my energy or I will die. And this is a perfect sample, you know, to build up the climax. Then I have some more noise, you know, some clap, some with, and you know, and all this kind of stuff usually used in a track. As you can see, I didn't use so many sample. It's still kinda easy. Probably I will add some more groove stuff and maybe a couple of synth, you know, not really synth, but some kind of noise to cover. But I think we are mostly done with the sample. Okay, as you can see, I stopped the clap because I don't really like it, and instead I add the it. So let's go from the beginning. You know, this sound is the same sound of here. Okay, it's not really the same sample, but it's basically the same, which I over distort from, you can see from the equalization, and then I clean it, blah blah blah, come filter, I edit some stuff, you know, I add the distortion to, you know, to fill all the band. Then I cut it with the, you know, where is it, with the analog filter just below, I don't know, 500, so it just doesn't cover too much the bass. Then bass, and then again filter, bass, filter, bass, filter, bass, and I got this nice, I guess, groovy stuff. It's like, you know, usually it's a breakbeat, the sample tree. If you remember, it's like okay, okay, let me see. You know, it's nice, it's very groovy, it's almost IDM, not IDM, not EDM like the shitty music, but IDM like Hauterk and Aphex Twin style. And when I feel that so much, it just really melt very well with the other sample. Basically is the same, so they are good. I'm not sure they are perfectly synced, but again, it gives this kind of organic stuff, like somebody's really playing on the drums. Usually I don't like to add like reversitet and then not doing anything like here, but in this specific case it just build up a little bit, it give you a release. But you know, if you have seen the movie, the idea of the of this track, on the music you like, is that is building up some kind of tension and then just release it, and this is what drives me in the track. So I like this kind, small build and then release, small build and then release. And when I say release, I don't mean the drop. The fucking drop for me is like something that really kill the energy in the track. A lot of people use the word release, climax and drop like synonymous. In my opinion, not only they are not synonymous, but in the mind, which is basically the one that create the track, just give you like some kind of disharmony. And if you think a drop is something that build up and then suddenly go drop, and is like that, while if you think a release like up and then full, so up and then there is a plateau, a climax is not like up and then go down and then it's like a plateau but very low. So in my opinion, I like to use the word climax, the word plateau, the word release, because you build up the tension, and a drop doesn't really release the tension. It just release a little bit because okay, it's not building up anymore, but it's not as good as I want. So the second time it just call something, and the snare drum is just in the most stupid animal way. There is nothing else, just the drum, but I don't want to make something very complicated. I visualize this track like the fight between Mob and somebody, and there is some build up and you already start kicking asses 100%, 50%, 70% from the beginning. So I don't really know to build so much. Okay, so I build up very quick because there is nothing to release so much. I put the reverse, so it's just call again. It's like a mental anchor that every time you see this kind of sound clean, it means something is going to happen. And then I start from the beginning kinda hard. I keep using this background melody, dark slow melody. I use the same bass always, is the same, so it's very straight. I'm not going to make any kind of trick with the bass at the beginning because it's still very hard. The people listening doesn't need to to build up again the tension. I'm totally releasing. And then with this track, as I showed you before, it's very simple. But it's good. It just build up. So I'm the second part. I'm doing like a bit more games. But not so many. So basically here this one is the bass in the 6th pattern is very simple. The second and third one, they're not as simple as I would like. Okay, I also use some kind of odd numeration, like this one is 128 line, and so is this one, while this one is 256. So basically it's like a four pattern of 128 line. I will use some strange way of doing the track because again, I don't want to make too perfect, like like an industrial hypnotic track. I want to make like some more raw power, raw organic power. So I did something that is not very DJ wise, very good to mix, but again, I don't know how many people will play. I will play live, so fuck DJs. And if you are not able to mix a track that is not perfect in the rhythm in the mix, okay, this track is not for you, is not a problem. But I want to trade, the difficulty in the mixing with the brutality of the track, and I think it's coming out nice. So basically what happened is that on this pattern I'm going to, after 500 lines of BPM, it's time to release or build up. In this case, in the version 3, I already add the famous sample, from the track, because I think people need to listen the sample now, because they're releasing a little bit. I can already go on with the more energy, and maybe I will do that. I will see in when I finish the track. I will just let it 1 week and see which part is harder. But I think now it's time to call the bass, the melody. So I go. Okay, there is some kind of noise here. I think when the snare ends, let me see. So 3 was this kind of ugly shitty noise, because there is the drum pam, and here there is at the beginning nothing to stop the sound, and probably the snare were shitty. So let me start again. Okay, here are some, I cleaned this one. I'm not 100% happy, but let's keep it like this. And I like the way the melody start. I just cut, the other 2 sound, the small piano that was playing in the background, and I had this one. I think people will get some extra energy if they are fed up after 500 lines, so it's good. I hear some kind of mismatch between the part where there is like the tet that I cannot take away, so I must use it. The noise is good by itself, but during that part I don't want the bass to change in a different part. I mean, if there is that part and I want people listening from that part and putting the finger on it, I don't need to add any more complexity on the bass. So probably something that I will do after I explain the track is cleaning the part where there is the noise, this reverse crash, and the part where is the bass. And maybe in this part I will use a little less change trick with the bass, but again it's okay. And let's go. As you see, it's strange. Okay, I will show you after. Okay. Here you see that at the end of the loop the melody change and it just close something, so I will to play twice the second part and give some more time to dance. I had to add stuff, and I had it had open and close here in this track. Before I had this clap, and while they are not so bad, I don't know, they didn't mix so well in the track. I mean, I'd like something more like that, not like I remember I did a sample out of clap with that. I will find and I will use it. Then, you know, after this, the track build up so much and then it stop. If you heard the second version, that the one that you listened at before, it was the bridge, the stop, the time to breathe was just chilling music. Now I add, like, this kind of breakbeat, which is very good. I'm not sure if after all this people need some more groove or prefer, just to stand still and wait. I will see after a week. I will just listen to it and see what's happened, and hopefully I will have somebody playing it and giving me feedback on the dance floor what people does. I am not really sure. Let's see. After this, again. Here I use a very short bridge because the anime is relentless and you cannot just build and build and build. The movie is hard, is brutal, and so I want this track to be again like 15 seconds, 20 seconds to breathe, and then again like slap, kick, and fucking fighting. So that's the part. Now I made like the bass, as you see, is no longer like a 4 on the floor, but it's more like a rolling bass, just because of that. The samples say that we need some kind of energy, and so I make rolling, and I use this effect, which is one of my fave. Now you can steal my secrets. Where is it? Okay, which is the retrigger. If you see, I use this very weak numeration, which is 360 line, which is basically a not good number for a pattern are like 164, 128, 256, 500, but not 360. And I add this one because basically I wanted to make something different. I want to break, the rhythm is like not only, fight, some kind of change and then fight again. Really look at an anime track, look how they fight, how they move, and especially this kind of anime, this Mob Psycho, and you will see how they do. It's not like the normal, I win, then I lose, and then I win. They're just coming back full power, and I want to really reflect that kind of stuff. I really want to, I don't know if it's a kind of synesthesia, but I really want to express in music, in brutality, the same brutality of the anime, and it's coming out well. So basically I did this track, then I do this one. I just this one is less like but it's like which give you a little bit more breath between the track, because this time I'm using the bass drum is like, you know, sorry for making this kind of noise, and I don't want to put like twice the power from the beginning, so I just make one rolling and the other one will be half the speed, just to keep even with before, but giving a different kind of energy. Then in this way I will be able, if I want, to really put twice of the energy here and twice the energy there to really close the track like that. Again, all of this is just to build up the track. I will make another build up, this time again with the snare, with the crash, to start again the loop, the main loop, and probably this one will be the last part. After this I do this, I will be able really to crash it. I will make another like very small pause, and then I will start full power just to close it. I don't know if I'm going to finish with some kind of extra tone with splitter, or I don't know, but this, you know, here was like I don't know, 600 BPM, and here I just put a much slower. It's still very fast for the normal people, because it's like 190 BPM, which is a lot for you know, usual tracker like 140 BPM, 120 BPM. But you know, after all that kind of noise, it's time, you know, people can start to move. And again, if you visualize the cartoon, the anime is the part that, okay, there is the building, okay, let's put together all our energy and destroy it. So another way to build up without losing all the energy that I was, you know, you're already on the climax, you want to build up again, and it's very difficult. So I just drop a little bit, I give some more space, some more air, and then I ramp again. Listen. I'm not 100% happy about this one, and you see I just write you make some panning on the crash, because it would be nice here when there is the crash on the track, you know, instead of being always straight, having starting from panning from the right to the left, just to give some, again, some more organic stuff. And as you see, okay, no, but if you start from here, this pattern has you know, some more noise on it, and I'm just going to take away, because I'm not sure I want it, because it just cover a good sound. And I told you, that's all. I will speak about the bass and how I do this, you know, crazy stuff. Basically it's some kind of random. I find the same bass, I distort and I filter it like in 4 or 5 different ways, so I know it's basically is the same. Then I just add them with some kind of internal rhythm I have. Then I listen, make you know, so it's half random, and after I did it, usually I just clean it, listen, clean it, delete, and do all the stuff. Usually I spend much more time in patterning the drum than creating the drum. I know that usually people do the opposite. They spend 3 days on doing the track. The bass drum usually prefer spending time doing some more complicated stuff, more layer and stuff. So I hope you enjoy this part, and I will make another live probably while I'm doing all the upgrade to the track. So see ya. If you are on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel. I'm doing a lot of stuff. I'm publishing a lot of my track, a lot of my beta when they're not finished, and probably if you like this kind of, you know, work in progress, I will do something from the scratch, from zero, so we can build a track together if you care. if I will release the source of the track, for sure I'll be happy if people just remix it. And so just subscribe and wait for the next video. Ciao.